Hi. So we've been getting a lot of requests lately about how we cut down our glass into smaller pieces to ship to all you people. So I wanted to take a few minutes to show you how it's done. I grabbed a couple of sheets, and I think Kaylee's going to get them on camera here, but this is a piece of Oceanside. This is the size that comes to us. It's 24 by 24 inches. And we're going to cut it down into mediums, which in this case will be 12 by 12. I think one thing you probably need to know about the glass is it doesn't come really square to us. So we don't always cut it square. We try to cut it to the size that we're supposed to, or pretty darn close to it. So I'm gonna measure and get these at 12 by 12. I use a straight edge, right? I'm using a pencil style or a pen style glass cutter, really just because that's what I prefer. I mean, pistol grip would work just as well. I am gonna put on some safety glasses, right? Whenever we're cutting glass, we should probably wear safety glasses. You might notice that I'm not wearing gloves. I get asked about that a lot of times. And I can tell you, for me personally, I feel that it's a little safer to not wear gloves because I can feel the glass while I'm carrying it, and it gives me a little more sense of security of what's going on. Sometimes I feel like the gloves, I don't have a good grip, and that makes me, a little uncertain about what's going on. And I think, as you can see, at least, well, today anyways, I don't have any Band-Aids on, so I guess I must be doing something right. So again, this is Oceanside. I'm going to cut this down into mediums. And the sheets, as I mentioned before, 24 by 24. So I'm just measuring real quick to make sure that I'm cutting this glass in half, get it 12 by 12. I like to triple check. I do compensate for the width of the cutter. So if you've never cut strips before or trying to specifically measure the glass, you'll know that the cutting head, that the wheel and the cutting head comes in a little bit. So we have to always compensate for that. It's not quite 1/8 of an inch, but it's close. So I've compensated for that. You can push or pull. I guess it just depends on what you feel like doing. I'm going to push this one just for the fun of it. So instead of breaking it, I'm just going to turn it and then do the next score. I know a lot of times, we recommend not going over a score. We say it probably is not the best for your cutter, but out here, we're cutting lots of glass, so it's a little time saver if we don't have to just break it and then do the next score. So we're going to do multiple scores on this piece. I'm measuring again at 12. I'm going to come in and score this one. You'll probably also notice that I'm working on a carpeted table. When we're cutting the large sheets, the carpet's a little friendlier to the glass, and we run into less issues of things breaking. I know at home in my studio, I just work on a regular tabletop. The carpet sometimes in small pieces, I think it's a little trickier to cut, but I'll tell you, it works real well. The carpet does when we're cutting these big pieces. I'll show you how we break it. So now we refer to it as table snapping, and I'm just gonna come over and bring it down to the edge so you can see the score is just right along where the edge of the glass is. I'm gonna just pick it up, use a gravity and maybe a little bit of force to break it. And then we're gonna come in and break it on my knee. So this way, I'm gonna come in and just snap it on the edge of the table. So you can see that and then we'll write all the item numbers on there, so when you guys get it, you'll know exactly what glass it is. So it's pretty easy, right? So if you guys have questions about this, feel free to contact us, right? You can always email us at Facebook at Delphi Glass, or you reach out to us on Instagram. And I'm sure I missed one.
Facebook as well.
Facebook as well. You can message us on Facebook. Here's another piece of glass that is made by Bullseye. One of the things I think hopefully you notice, I'll do it again because I did it kind of quick, I didn't really explain it. A lot of times when I'm picking the glass up, I use the edge of the table to help support the weight of the glass, instead of just trying to pick the whole glass up like this and set it on the table. One reason why is because you always have to sort of assume that, there could be a crack in the sheet without realizing it. What I actually did with this sheet before we even got here was when I pick a sheet out of the bins, I don't know if you can see some of the bins behind us, or Kaylee can you'll see how the glass is kind of stuck in the bins. And a lot of times when we pull it out, I'll just tap it with my knuckle real quick. And if there's a crack in it, you'll hear a rattle. If you hear this kind of ping noise that I get here, there's probably not a crack in it. But just to make sure, like I said, I always use the edge of the table to help kind of support the weight when I'm setting it up there. This sheet's a little different. These are again made by Bullseye Glass. The sheets come to us 35 inches long, 20 inches wide. So to cut this into mediums, we cut it in 10 by 16 pieces. So I'm going to show you how I cut this one down. So I'm going to, and again, you'll notice with the Bullseye, if you're not familiar, it has a rolled edge right? So this kind of rolled edge, so there's never like 4 straight edges to the sheet, right? There's a straight edge on both sides where they've cut it, but the other edges are not. So sometimes it makes the measuring a little tricky. So I measured at 16 here. I'm going to come in and score this one. This one I'm just pulling just for no other reason, and to show you that can be done either way. These particular sheets, we have to cut down, we have to cut about 3 inches off the edge. And if you live close by, I can tell you that these little pieces I'm going to cut off here are pretty popular. We sell it as scrap, and we get people that come in just to buy our scrap. I mean, to see what we had. And I think this morning when Kaylee and I were wandering around, we saw some pretty nice scrap today anyways.
We wish we could sell it online, but
Yeah,
it's just too
I was
difficult.
gonna say, unfortunately, we cannot sell it online. We've tried before. It just doesn't ship well. You can probably imagine. You end up with lots of little scrap. Same deal. I'm going to table snap this one, so I'm going to roll it around and then snap it off. You can see that one. So this here is, now I'm going to cut this one in half. I find it easier to cut them, like these sheets are a little bit longer, to cut them in half first, and then break them, and then come in and do the other score. Just, again, I think it's more predictable. We do get sheets in here from other companies that are bigger than these. I just grabbed these short ones so that it wouldn't take like a 4-hour video on me cutting glass, which I know sounds pretty exciting, but it's not really. So I measured these at 10. I just cut this in half. Again, I'm just going to snap this part on the table. A lot of times I'll snap that little piece off too. Do the same thing with this one. And then I'm going to cut this other one real quick. Yeah, this is a cranberry. If you're wondering, it's the cranberry pink and white streaky that Bullseye makes. The Oceanside one I had was deep aqua. I grabbed a couple of my personal favorite colors just because I was cutting it. I figured I might as well pick out what I like, right? So I'm going to cut this one in half. And again, I'm going to show you how we cut it. You know, we break it sometimes with our knee. We find it faster actually to just bring it off, and Kaylee I think is going to come around and literally just bring our leg up. And I know that all those people out there are like, wow, you're going to cut your leg off. I've been doing this probably many years, and if we're, again, a nice good score, quick snap, it's actually pretty safe. Well, I think that's about it, right, Kaylee? I just got to write some the item numbers on here, but thanks for joining us today. And again, if you have questions or you have another topic you'd like to see what goes on behind the scenes at Delphi, I mean, feel free to reach out to us.